We're so excited to have you compete in the coolest game in the metaverse, Break Stuff VR.
Break Stuff VR is presented as a game show, and it's the worst game show you've ever been a part of. There's no way to lose, there's no other contestants. Winning means you've suffered for hours at a time, and the host is some Max Headroom wannabe with absolutely zero interest in the show that he's hosting.
It's like converting stress into joy, and that the emotion can be more powerful with time limits and score competition. We packed all that together with some hidden surprises and voila.
Let's start with some positives. Break Stuff has some of the best throwing mechanics I've seen in a VR game, possibly ever. Power, accuracy, it just works the way it's supposed to. And there are some assists here that add a little oomph to your pitch if you have trouble throwing. There's even an option to launch things directly from your hands if your arms are getting tired. And the level design here is actually, or maybe I should say surprisingly, well thought out. For a game called Break Stuff, about breaking stuff, you'd think there'd be no rhyme or reason to the destruction, but that's simply not true. There's a method to the madness. Take this carnival level, for example. At first, you'll just throw things wildly at different targets, trying to destroy as many things as possible within the time limit. But eventually you'll realize how everything connects, how not to waste your time on certain objects, because an event you trigger later will crush them for you anyway. It feels good to devise a strategy and execute it perfectly with time to spare. What doesn't feel good is being forced to do it again, and again, and again, and again. I'm not kidding, you literally have to play each round 20 times before unlocking the next stage. This process takes upwards of 35 to 45 minutes of constant pitching motions, which becomes boring, not to mention exhausting, within minutes. But I guess with only 4 stages, a construction yard, driveway, carnival, and china shop, you've got to do what you got to do to make the game seem longer than it is. There are 4 bonus stages here too, but they're seriously no fun at all. You're given a baseball bat and you're supposed to destroy everything as fast as possible. But it just doesn't feel like most of my hits are registering. Why isn't my bat breaking this glass case on the first try? Speaking of which, it's shocking to me how much stuff in Break Stuff isn't breakable. Why can't I blow up this shed, or this bulldozer, or this fortune teller, or this scarecrow? It just seems crazy that if I work and work and work to build up money to buy explosives, well, I should be able to blow up everything in sight. Break Stuff really needs to take a lesson from Hotel R&R, which, by the way, costs the same amount, has bigger, more destructible environments, an insane number of weapons, more polish, and more levels. After playing for about 2.5 hours, I finally rolled credits on Break Stuff, and I felt thoroughly unrewarded for my time. The idea here isn't that you beat the game though. The developers want you to go back and replay the levels in order to get the highest possible score, or unlock every weapon in order to get the platinum trophy. But sadly, Break Stuff is bland looking, bland playing, repetitive, costs about 4 times more than you'd expect, and the occasional cool moments like UFOs flying overhead are all overshadowed by the boring presentation and exhausting, seemingly never-ending gameplay loop that kills any desire you might have had to voluntarily play any of these stages again. Your PSVR2 deserves better, and so do you.
Such an exciting show of mashing and smashing.